Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the 7 things you need to know when it comes to employing people. I won't be able to go through them all in detail. There is so much employment law. I could talk for hours about it. I'm not going to. I'm going to give you the headlines in this video so you know what you need to know, the questions you need to ask of the experts around you to be able to get the knowledge that you need. So let's go. Starting with number 1, when we're employing people, we need to make sure we do so through the PAYE scheme, that we're paying the relevant tax, national insurance, but also be aware that you need to set up an auto-enrolment pension and auto-enroll everybody who's eligible into that pension scheme. They have the option to opt out, but you have to auto-enroll them in, and you cannot encourage them to opt out or order them to opt out. You must auto-enroll people into a pension scheme. Number 2, very brief, employer's liability insurance. If you're employing people, you need to make sure you've got employer's liability insurance in place. Number 3, health and safety. You are responsible for the health and safety of your employees. That also goes for any other visitors to your premises, customers, all covered by health and safety. You need to make sure you are considering that. But crucially, your employees, the Health and Safety at Work Act, you do need to make sure that you're considering that. And of course, the last couple of years with COVID, health and safety has really come to the forefront of people's minds. So find out what you need to do. Find a health and safety expert. It's not my area of expertise, but find the experts and get the help that you need to make sure you're compliant. The next one is data protection. The general data protection regulations, we need to comply with those to make sure that all the employee data that we're holding, that we're doing so securely, that we're only holding data that we really need to be holding in the business, that's relevant. We don't necessarily need the consent of employees, and quite often it's not right to get the consent of employees. There's data that we have to collect in order to be able to operate the employment contract. People's bank details, for example, or their national insurance number. But there's other data, like, for example, people's photos, putting them out on social media, where we would need to get consent of people. And then there's other data that we would need to be thinking very carefully about whether we really need it. Health data, for example. Only collect that if it's relevant and you absolutely need it to run your business. The next one is statements of particulars. Now, a statement of particular is often referred to as an employment contract, although technically isn't an employment contract. It is under Section 1 of the Employment Rights Act. There is a list of things that you have to inform employees about by the end of day 1 of employment. That list is on the screen now. I won't go through it. Feel free to pause the video, make notes. We'll see in that there is a requirement for you to be issuing a disciplinary and grievance policy. Now, these can be separate documents to the statement of particulars, but you do need to make sure that you've got them and that you're issuing them. I would recommend that you go one step further than the statement of particulars and have a full contract of employment, a full set of policies, so that you're protecting your business. The statement of particulars, you'll notice, is about giving employees the information that they need, such as their holiday entitlements, their sickness entitlements, their hours of work. But you might want to be putting in their deductions from wages. You might want to be putting in there that you're issuing uniforms and want to deduct from wages if those uniforms are lost or damaged. You might want to put in there clauses to allow you to pay in lieu of notice or put somebody on garden leave. These things need to be contractual terms that you've put into a contract of employment. So it's worth going beyond the statement of particulars and really thinking about how you protect your business. But make sure you've issued it by the end of day 1. Ideally as well, you'd want to be issuing that before somebody starts work, so they're aware of what they're signing up to when they come to work for you. Your statement of particulars should include holiday entitlement, and that's the one I'm going to come to next. Key to be aware that all of your employees and workers are entitled to a statutory minimum of 5.6 weeks of holiday. For somebody who works 5 days a week, this is 28 days and can include time off for bank holidays. So you could have 20 days plus your 8 bank holidays. Do be aware, though, that there is no legal entitlement to time off on bank holidays, so you could also treat those as a normal working day. But if you do, you need to make sure that they're getting that full statutory minimum holiday entitlement, so getting that somewhere else. And then finally, don't forget your workforce is an investment. For many, your wage bill will be the biggest bill you've got in your business. Don't forget that investment. don't forget to make sure that you get the return on that investment and you get the most out of it. And that's about knowing in your business what you're trying to achieve, what each of your individuals is contributing to that, why you've got that role, what that role contributes to your business, and what you need to see out of it for it to be a success and for you to get a return on that investment. Never forget that investment and making sure that you're getting the best out of your teams. So that's my rundown, my top 7 things you need to consider when you're employing people. Clearly, I can't cover everything in such a short video, but there are articles on our website, silkhelix.co.uk. In our Knowledge Hub, there's a range of articles which covers these topics in far more detail.